So today we are starting, 12 principles of animation. This is the basic, fundamentals. Before starting, getting into animation, the principles, the fundamentals you should know. Okay, and these are very important whether you do character animation, biped or quadruped. Okay, sorry for that. So even if it is a character animation or biped, quadruped means two-leg character or four-leg character, or even prop animation or a vehicle animation, automotive, a car, bus, like this kind of even transport, this kind of animation also if you're doing. So principles are very important. So we need to construct our animation based on these principles only. Okay. So while I'll like explain this, like you will connect to the real life situation also. So let us get into this. Okay. Give me a minute, guys. So this part, okay, I think the first one, let me squash and stretch. Normally, squash, stretch. These things will happen, assume, like when you guys sit, okay, the abdomen part, okay, so there's a squash, okay, when we stand, there's a stretch, okay, so even the neck part, when you sit, when you walk, like a stiff walk, this will be kind of stretch. Or if you're looking for someone, okay, so you tend to move your head, a bit, you rotate a bit, so that it will be stretched, the neck part, the abdomen part. That's how it is. You walk, you run, our body definitely, like it performs squash and stretch. Okay, most, like in animation movies and all, you have seen these things. Okay, so let's see the next one. This is anticipation. Okay, observe this. Anticipation. This part is anticipation. uh, the action before the main action. Okay, the main action is, like this bag to jump from one place to another. Before jumping, you can see it is performing in action. Okay, got it. So in detail I'll explain. I would like to play one video, uh, that related to a movie. Mm, so you will really understand from that. Which movie is that? Ice Age. Yeah, this one. This is from Ice Age movie. They have explained 12 principles of animation. Just go through them. Staging. I'll explain all this. Go through this first. So I would like to play one more. Okay. So different examples will give different opinion. Means principles are same, but uh, explanation is bit different. So just go through this. Okay, this is with the character. Okay, let me just okay, give with Tom and Jerry. Okay, this is very simple example. You will clearly understand. Let us say this. Ease in, ease out means you need to understand all this. So this arc, entire body is moving in arc. Let me just jump into another one. Okay, very simple way I'll just show you. Okay, so it's better you can refer to this video or you can make a point. Okay. So these 12 principles of animation were introduced by Disney animators Ollie Johnson and Frank Thomas. So in their book, The Illusion of Life. Disney animation published in 1981, it is widely considered to be the best animation book of all time. So I would like you to refer to The Illusion of Life book. It is available online also. Means like a PDF version is also available. You can download that. And Animator's Survival Kit, Richard Williams, Animator's Survival Kit. That's like a Bible for animation. Okay, I want you to just go through that. The first one, splash and stretch. This gives illusion of weight and volume to object. And it often used for comical effect. Splash, stretch, splash, stretch. Okay. Second one, animation. Okay. Prepare the audience for an action and increase realism of action. Sometimes used to heighten the suspense of a scene. Okay. So anticipation, like sometimes, means normally even we use this term anticipation. Okay. So we anticipate means expect something is going to happen. We will come to know what is going to happen. That one. Okay. So when this comes, it is gonna hit the ball. That will audience will very clearly understand. Next is arc. Humans and animals always move in arc. Arc increase the realism of the subject's action. Okay. Arc. Okay. See, when we walk, we perform, our movement performs arcs, circles, or S, reverse S, this kind of arc. So just, uh, this index finger, just bend your index finger. So bring your, like hand in front of you. So just one finger, index finger, open the index finger, just try to bend it. So fastly you do that. So you can see it is forming an arc, kind of C. It is forming C. Okay. Okay. That one. So ball, this is bouncing ball. Bouncing ball action, very clearly it forms an arc. Okay. Ease in, ease out, or this is also called as slow in, slow down. Okay. So for example, the subject needs time to slow down and speed up. Drawing between two extreme poses provide the subject with greater realistic movement, either drawing or animating the characters. It's like that. Okay. So while working on this, like you'll clearly understand. Slow, and here it is faster, and here it is slow. Simple example. So when you're driving a car, okay, so when you reach your destination, you are gonna slow down. Okay, means slow in. That is called slow in. Slow will be in. When you're speeding up, when you're driving really fast, that's slow in, slow out. Slow out. Okay, means that you can call it as slow out, or when you're stopping the car, slow in. Same way, either a railway engine, it works like this. Okay. Appeal. Animated characters need to captivate audience. Complicated character faces and lack of symmetry often make it difficult for audience to connect. Okay, make sure like our appeal has to be good. When we portray something, a character animation, the first impression, appeal has to be really good. So that's what it refers to. Means the look and feel of a character. Timing. This is really important for animation. More frames create slower action, whereas the fewer limited frames create faster action. Okay, a simple example I'll give. Timing. Timing creates different emotion in animation. Different emotion. So how do we define this as a different emotion? Assume you are working in the late night around 12 p.m. or 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. Assume you are working in your room. Okay, the door is closed. Means you have forgot to like lock the door, but it is just closed. So when the door opens very slowly and there is a cracking sound very slowly when the door opens, how do you look towards that? When you hear that a small door opening sound is coming, very slowly you tend to move your head towards the door. Okay, means your response is like that because that's an emotion, that's a scary emotion. Okay, so very slowly you look towards that. So I'll give another example. Your position, sitting position is same. You're working in a day scene. Okay, uh, assume one of your family member bought food for you. So they open the door and a tumbler or something or glass or something fell down. With that particular sound, your turn is a very spontaneous. You tend to turn your head towards the sound or situation what happened. It is quite faster. That's spontaneous. See, it's a different emotion. Okay, so timing makes everything. Okay, so you got the difference, Lindell?
Yes, sir.
Okay, there are so many examples which I can give. So while working, like you will get to know. Timing. This is an example for timing. Solid drawings. Add weights, volume, and 3D illustration to the subject. So solid drawing is an example for when we are creating animation using 2D like drawing. If it is a 3D, our camera angle matters a lot. Okay. You will be able, means whenever we render a scene, make sure our character is seen completely, or else in a 3/4. Okay, so or else in a perspective view, not exactly in the front view and side view, because front view and side view it will tend to look more like a 2D version. But when we are working on 3D, like make sure little bit perspective you are giving. So the next one is exaggeration. So present the physical feature or elements of a character in an exaggerated form. Exaggeration is more common in animated characters. Okay, in realistic character, when you are animating a realistic shots, okay, so we don't exaggerate things. But when it is an animation, definitely we do that. Normally, like this particular term exaggeration, even in our real life, our friends will be there or family member. So it might be in our circle, like any one person whom we know very closely, like that person definitely will, there will be one person who will exaggerate things. In my group, in my friend circle, obviously there are certain people who exaggerate things while they communicate, they exaggerate. So might be you might have faced, some of your friends might be, while explaining the things what happened yesterday or what happened yesterday in the party, like they tend to exaggerate things. Okay, you'll get to know, okay, hey, this guy is exaggerating. Okay, that's exaggeration. So this is required, especially in animation. Okay. Yeah. This is post to pose animation. Okay. Post to pose animation works for highly emotional and dramatized scenes, involves drawing of a few key frame for each action followed by filling the intervals. So here what we call post to pose. Um, no, normally, like when a person walk or when person is okay, uh, assume the same example. You are working, you're doing some practice or you're working in front of a system. Okay, so in that case, you want to drink water, okay, or you want to have a food, you have to go outside. So in that case, the first pose is you're working. Okay, so someone called outside, so your main door is locked, someone knocked the door and you have to go and see who is that. Assume this is animation. So what you will be doing in this, okay, for this particular animation, when it comes to pose, so your first pose is you're walking, sorry, you are sitting in front of system doing something. Your second pose, in the animation, second pose is you hear a bell or ring, door ring bell. The third pose is, like you move out of a chair and you are standing up, okay, direction towards the door. Third pose is you're walking. Fourth pose, it's like frame by frame, something like that. Okay, so if you are directing a scene, okay, one particular shot, how do you want first shot here, and from here to the character has to go, means the break, that intervals is called pose to pose. Okay, so later, like from one frame to another frame, in the beginning we work only on the keyframes. That pose to pose is called keyframes. Later we start to fill the intervals. Okay, so that anyhow you will be learning. This is very important for animation. Okay, now observe this. These are the lines. The U turned, again you in this way, like this. Now see the animation. Okay, pose to pose. Staging. Staging is very, very important. Again, all the 12 principles are important in this, but this is impression. Happy, first, uh, when you are going to communicate one particular shot, this is the first frame. Staging communicates the primary mood, action, or idea of a scene. Animators Johnson and Thomas defined it as the presentation of any idea so that it is completely and unmistakably clear. Okay.